You know, sometimes you just have to laugh at the absurdity of existence and realize that you do. Life is amazing and beautiful, you know. It's painfully beautiful, you know, and very painfully beautiful. But it's a great journey. It's a great experience, you know, and I'm blessed for everything that has made me who I am, and I feel that I needed to just have a relaxing day today. I'm just laying here, and this is like one of my favorite spots in the world. I feel like no one knows it exists. I'm alone. I can be here all day and just forever and spend all night. And I've had so many memories here. It's one of my very special spots for whenever my soul is in pain or my heart has been broken or the world has tried to crush me down. And I feel like I'm always just walking through a battlefield and constantly getting stabbed by the entire world. And it's just like, shit. This is my sanctuary, though. I'm safe here. It's like the most remote secret place here in town. But I used to hang out here with a lot of my friends, and you know, through the years I've made a lot of beautiful memories in Ashland. And you know, the truth is I'm ready to just accept that, you know, I can choose to be happy again, you know, and live again and come back to life and get back into all my passions. And I'm almost thinking I want to start rollerblading again, you know, because after I broke my arm, you know, I was just very traumatized, and it was just a very difficult experience because I had never broken a bone before that. And you know, it's just, life is too beautiful, and I'm an artist and I see beauty in everything. And just sometimes beauty can just make you feel like your soul is on fire, and just, you know, passion and living a life that's, you know, like that. But I did see a deer. He kind of got scared off when he saw me and went away, but I'm not sure what's gonna happen in my future. Like, I know what I have to do, you know? It's like, I know the correct things, the right things, and how to deal with people, but it's like, it's gonna be so intense for me emotionally in Mexico. It's just like, am I strong enough to confront such intense situations that I'm gonna have to be in? And I really just want to stay here in Ashland. Shit, I'll fucking buy a tent and I'll put it right there, and I will live right here. I don't even need an apartment. Like, it's like, you know, I know that everything in life has made me stronger and more resilient, and I can bounce back. And But for once, I don't want to be strong. I don't want to have to be strong. I don't want to. Can I just be soft? Can I just be somewhere safe? Or I don't have to be strong anymore, and I can just focus on just my art and just living life, and maybe I should just save up money, and instead of doing the whole getting an apartment here, maybe invest in like a bike, get like biking gear, and maybe I should just resume where I left off when I was when I got interrupted, because of everything that happened during my last bike packing adventure, that I was on the road for like almost 2 months. And I would have been longer if I wouldn't have had that incident with that whole mishap with, I forget what his name was, and in Virginia, and his friends, and them fucking up like my life by stealing my bike and all my shit, and having to start all over, and moving to Loudonville, and then to Columbus, and then I'm just like, here is just, Ashton has always been the most magical, most amazing place for my soul, because it's where I've met the most amazing human beings that have always supported me and have always picked me up when I'm broken, none of my friends can tolerate seeing me miserable. And it's like, as soon as something happens to me, it's like all my friends are on high alert, and everyone comes to the to the rescue, vulture swooping down. And it's just like the spiritual realms, also send backup help, and but it's just, I'm sad, because sometimes you have hope, you're like, maybe all, help inspire someone or set someone free. And when you're constantly just being attacked, and I'm like, what most people consider solitude and loneliness, and not like I have people that like they die from boredom with solitude and aloneness. And it's like, whenever I've been completely isolated from the world, that's when have complete and total freedom. When I've been off the grid, when I've been in remote parts of the world where like I could die, and and it's just, I had freedom, like what most people would kill them of loneliness and solitude. I've had so much passion. I've traveled. It's like I love everything so much in life, and I just wish someone could see life through my eyes and see the glitter and the sparkliness of everything, and how intense everything is. And as an artist, everything is your emotion, like every emotion I feel is just, it's not, like an emotion will change everything. Your whole world spins, like what you create, it's like, my biggest heartaches, my deepest depressions, my everything, when I've fallen in love, it's like the most intoxicating. I mean, that's a rare one, like, I got to experience love just tiny, tiny fragments in my lifetime. But those few drops of love that I've experienced, it felt like a drug, like LSD, or just, like very intense, but pain is just so intense for me, and it's just like, I'm very passionate. And, it's like, I love and hate the pain, like I love the growth that comes after the pain, and when you see yourself stronger. But during those moments of that deep despair of your soul, like, you're alone. I remember, sometimes days go by. You just feel so much pain in your soul that you can't pinpoint what's causing it, and you can't get up, you can't move, you become paralyzed, and the world loses color and flavor, and then it's like, do you even have a reason to live for, and I saw certain things, like I'm very connected to the spiritual realms, and I always get upgrades and signs, and through my growth, there's been different, things that have come into my life, but like I kind of usually am used to certain very strong signs from the spiritual realm, but today I'm walking here, and immediately I just felt this energy. And there was just this little white butterfly. It was so, like, just moving so softly and delicately, and, it was like walking at my pace, and it just lingered, around me for like, it just kind of followed me for like about 2 minutes. And I was like, what is the universe trying to tell me? Because, like the universe always prepares me when I'm ready for war, like when I'm about to face something strong. So it's always very dark, intense, like the crows, the snakes, the ravens, they all warn me and stuff. But it's like, it was just such a soft sign from the universe today that I got. And it was just that like moment with that butterfly. And I was just like, first of all, like none of my spiritual, like sign, like all of my spirituality is just, like very intense stuff, I rarely get the soft stuff, and, life is just this beautiful masterpiece, that I've created, like I'm ready for my autobiography, like most of my life I've lived in solitude. People don't know everything that I've done, all the experiences, all the adventures, and, it's like, now that I'm at peace with the universe, and, I don't have to work anymore, like, I feel like I'm on vacation every single day of my life, and, it's just, healing is hard, but I'm getting there, like, I don't know what my plans are, honestly, for the next few months, like, it all might change when I go to Pennsylvania. I might not go back to I don't know what to do. Ashton, Ohio is home. I have to go have closure with my parents. I have to say goodbye to everyone. I have to tie things up in Mexico. I can't just leave everything, that chaos, like that happened and stuff, that my mom destroyed everything, like I want to say goodbye to my cousins and the people in the village and the people that love me, like, it's like if my mom can't, doesn't love me and she thinks I'm the most horrible abomination in existence, it's like, well, there's plenty of other love I can have in the world. It's kind of like the men love me, like I wish they would fall in love with me, but like, sometimes I have the most passionate, casual encounters with like men, and, like, they're so intense, and that you don't even know their name, you don't even know who they are, but how they make you feel and how they treat you in that moment, and you just savor it, and it's, like, it might be just like an hour, 2 hours of passionate, amazing, love making and sex, and, with some random stranger that you don't know, but, like, it's like they're putting more effort than, even relationships that I've been in, where they've treated me horribly and I've been abused, and, by by people that I've dated, you know, I've been treated badly, but the, you know, the casual hookups, you know, just meeting men, you know, last night it was beautiful, you know, my grinder setting dinged around 4 a.m. Like, I'm ready for bed. I'm laying in bed. I'm not getting out. I see the notification and some guy, and it's this young, beautiful college student. I think he couldn't have been, like, he's in his early 20s, you know, like, at first I was like, okay, whatever, like, let's see what he wants. And then he was really, like, wanting to do stuff with me, and he was, like, flirting with me, and I'm like, shit, you know, like, I don't have my age on my profile. Like, he probably thinks I'm closer to his age. It's like, shit, you know, I'm like twice your age, but, you know, he just wanted it so badly, you know, and, you know, like, I just went along with it. I'm like, I'm not thinking anything of it, you know, like, I'm like, you know what, we're gonna meet up, talk, see how I feel comfortable with him, you know, and we didn't really know where we were gonna go, you know, because we were just gonna hook up, you know, and do, you know, mess around, you know, somewhere in town, in public or whatever. And, you know, I thought, you know, the cemetery, you know, because it's one of my favorite places, you know, to do stuff, you know, at night, you know, like, and no one's ever there. And, but then, you know, like, we were closer to the other end of town, and, you know, we were walking, it's 4 a.m., you know, he was kind of tired. So he's like, well, why don't you just go to the backyard? And I'm like, there's no fences. There's like all the houses, but it was just so dark. I mean, you know, it's Ashland, you know, it's 4 or 5 a.m. It's dark as shit. And I remember seeing him, and, you know, he had this beautiful, you know, blonde hair, very beautiful eyes, and soft skin. He just smelled so amazing. His body was just just perfect, you know, like, it was like a masterpiece of art, you know, like Michelangelo's David or something, you know. And I just remember, you know, it's like, and you know, we're like on the grass and rocks and gravel and in the backyard, the dark part, you know, like under a tree or something. And, you know, and he just, you know, gets on all fours, you know, and I just remember sitting behind him, and I'm like, shit, this is fucking, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, I've had such terrible, like, you know, like, you know, emotionally, I've been just terrible. And now, like, something good has actually happened. And I remember looking at the stars and the moon, and I'm just laying back there, and like, I'm laying, you know, like, behind him, you know, like, looking at him, you know, and on all fours. And I can see his ass, and like, I can see the stars and the moon, and it was such a beautiful night. And he had the most beautiful, you know, ass, and I just remember playing with it, and he tasted so amazing. And then, you know, I just couldn't resist, you know, when he wanted me to just mount him and just, you know, have my way. And it's just like, it felt like so intense, and it's like, you know, like, we're outside, you know, like, I'm sure, like, all the neighbors are like, well, it's like, no one's probably looking, but I'm like, imagine if, like, everyone's, like, out, like, looking out their windows, they're just having a free show, you know, just out in public, like animals, you know. And I'm like, it was so much fucking amazing. It reminds me when I was, like, 18, and, you know, me and Dustin, you know, we'd go to the cornfields and the cemetery, and we'd do, like, the randomless places, you know, and just outside or in the mountains, you know, like, and just being free or underneath a waterfall. And, you know, like, I've just had such a deep, passionate, amazing life. And, you know, like, I just went through some hardship, and, you know, like, things have been rough since I left Ashland, you know, emotionally, because, you know, when I left Ashland, I left home, you know, and then I was on an adventure, but then things went wrong, and then I couldn't come back to Ashland. I got stuck in Loudonville, and then I got stuck in Columbus, and, you know, now I finally had the chance to come back home. You know, I want to be home. Like, this is my home. Like, Ashland, you know, like, everywhere. Like, I just, you know, I haven't made a chance to, you know, like, I kind of want to go talk to Matt Miller for, you know, it's for some guidance on, you know, how to, like, resettle back into the area. You know, maybe he can help me, you know, find how, like, I don't know what the housing, all that, it's just too much. But, you know, it's just watching the leaves fall, and it's just like, if I had tools right now, I just wish I had my brushes and my canvases and my paint or my knitting needles. And it's like I've lost everything in Columbus. Like I just left my entire life behind when I moved to Mexico. And it's like rollerblades, knitting materials, and it just makes me so sad, it's sort of like my passions. And it's like I want to get more art supplies and I want to start painting again. And, like when I'm painting, I just can, feel just the intensity of everything. And it just feels like I'm walking on clouds and, like everything just, feels so good. And, it's just, I'm ready to be happy the next, section of my life because I've already lived so much. I've lived for like I've had so much life. Like I've already done everything I've never been afraid to just take off and go. I've traveled the world. I speak so many languages. I'm college educated. I've had very nice professional jobs. Like I've had a passion to travel and visit all the places I've ever wanted to visit, and I've seen the most beautiful things. I've created the most beautiful, amazing masterpieces with my hands, like from hand spinning mulberry silk yarn and, cashmere and working with merino and just, like the whole process. And it's just like, it's like, why can't people love me, Like, it's like, I love myself and I'm happy with that, but why can't another human being just want to be around me? Like, it's like I feel like I can never be myself around anyone because it's just like I feel like I'm like that child that not even a mother could love, and it's just like I feel, like, my mom, I'm the most horrible abomination that walks this planet according to her. And it's just like, she's the only person whose approval I've ever wanted. And she wants to, she wants to trim everything and cut off everything that makes me me and mold me into something that I'm not, like her version or her desire of me. And, she's ashamed, to even, consider me her child, because it's like, I don't know, but, it's like, I don't know, it's just, life is hard, and I know I'm strong, I know I'm gonna survive, I know I'm gonna, like, be able to withstand the the growth part, the battle that's to come, spiritually and everything in my life. And I'm like, I know I'm strong, I'm equipped, I have the weapons, but for once, I just wish I could just be passive and let the universe protect me and just so that I don't have to always just be watching my back, Like, can I be somewhere safe? And it's like Ashland's the only place where I feel safe, in this world. Ohio is home for me, It used to be Pennsylvania because I lived there like my early 20s, but all of my 30s I've been in Ohio now, and I'm about to be 40, and it's like Ohio is my new home. I had, like I've lived in Canada too, and Gatineau, Quebec, like Ottawa and like everywhere, and and it's like I've seen the world, Florida, Mexico, and everything, but it's like, to me, when I landed in Ashland, I remember the first day that I came here, and I remember walking the streets and the trees and the nature and just the cuteness of this town and the people and everything. And I just kind of feel like I live in an enchanted magic fairyland, and it's just like here they embrace, spirituality, like people are very open and, like it's such a beautiful thing. And I just wish there was a way that I could just, I don't know, like make, I always, I don't even know. I'm just, but I'm happy, like it's gonna be okay. Because I'm gonna come back here and I'll reset myself and all my friends and the people that love me. But who knows when I'll post again or the next video I'll make. You know, I'm gonna try to start making more, maybe like when I go to Mexico, but we'll see, because I want to start painting while I'm in the village and, you know, share some memories with the people in the village and, you know, like say my last goodbyes to everyone. And it's going to break my soul. But like once I move back to Ohio, I have to save up money, get an apartment, furnish an apartment. You know, I'm going to have to focus more on just taking care of me, you know, and not traveling as much, you know, but it's been fun. And I hope everyone has a very blessed, you know, existence.